Hey guys, so coming on here so we can go over some of the cleanup part of these and get to actually show you guys what I do to get things situated. So this is called a deburring tool, and this piece spins, and it's got a little bit of a blade here on the inside curve of that, so I'm not touching it. And it rotates, so it gets takes a little getting used to. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to just fly with it. But basically, I just go around my edges, and of course, like these being geodes, it's a little bit difficult because of the way each little end part is. But basically what I'm trying to do is get that sharp edge off, and you'll see resin pieces flying, and it takes just a little bit of pressure. You want to be careful to not gash or to run that blade across the whole thing. Also being careful to not cut yourself with it. It's not like super sharp, but definitely if you were to cut yourself with it, I think it could do some pretty good damage for sure. So yeah, so we're going to go around this whole thing, and basically I can pretty much tell where I'm at just based on the resin and how it is. Because you can see where I've hit essentially, and it's gonna need probably a little bit more than just this. I'll probably have to do a very light Dremel on it just to bring it down to even, and then we'll coat our outside so that you can't see the imperfections on the layers essentially. So this part is very time consuming, not gonna lie, but it's definitely, oh, that piece hit me in the neck. It is definitely wise to do so that you can have a truly completed piece opposed to a partial. Basically, my hand is getting a little tired. Not gonna lie. Actually, I should probably plug my Dremel in while I'm thinking about it. Remove this one. Oh yeah, it's got it. Oh yeah, I got a new kind of Dremel grinder. It's really for nails, but it was such a good deal. And I'm tired of always having to switch out the tools on my Dremel from when I'm doing the UV resin and so forth. So I just thought, you know what? I think I got this one that I'm going to use tonight for like 10 bucks. And I was like, okay, 10 bucks is worth it to save all the time that I spend switching out from my sanding Dremel tool to my drill tool, my drill bit. So tool. I'm just gonna make it easier for myself is what I decided. These little indents are very challenging, but we have made it around, which is nice. I think we'll do the Trinket dish next, just for ease sake. Now this one definitely has some pretty significant, so it'll be interesting. So it's not consistent because of the way those are, and it's definitely going to need some drilling. but this is helping. And then you just gotta be careful that you're not gashing it, because I'm going from thick to not thick, and that's an area that was very bubbly. It sounded so different. And see, it's starting to kind of gash it right there, so I just gotta be careful. Oh my gracious. Whew. Okay. I think we're getting it, but definitely, I don't know that it's easier than that geode, because, oh, that piece is sharp. Stabbed my thumb trying to find a place to grip. But, yeah. Pieces flying and I can't even talk because I'm putting so much force into it. I now remember why I don't record this part very often. Because it's just very challenging to get it. I need this corner done, but I think it's gonna have to be a Dremel situation because that is just not working. Okay, let's go back to Geode. I think that one's easier, but so much pressure is having to go into it. I can't speak and do that at the same time. I'm like, okay. So yeah, we're just going around. This one has a pretty significant lip on it too, and some pretty sharp spots. But hopefully between this and the Dremel, we can get these down pretty good and smooth. I think after doing this tool, the deburring tool, I am ready to go to the Dremel, because my hand is like, whew. This is something, I do a lot of things with my left hand, and I've said that in past episodes where I can do a lot with my left. But deburring, you need so much control of this tool. I don't think I could do left-handed by any means. Okay. I've literally shot pieces of resin all over me in my bra. I mean, just craziness. Alrighty. I'm so excited. So, this new what am I talking about? This new, excuse me, Dremel tool I'm super excited about. Okay. So, I think I didn't read the instructions. Well, mind of its own. Okay. I think I just stick that in there. And then we have, you know, the little grinding tools. This has a forward and reverse. I think it's for if you're doing your nails. But obviously, we're not doing nails. I would suggest to wear your protective gear when you're doing this, because you're going to get dust everywhere. And truthfully, before I get too crazy, I am, hit the back button, I am going to move my tools that are in this space over to the side where they're not going to get so covered, just because I don't want to have to clean up that mess. This is already a disaster. I'm going to have to clean it up pretty good. So I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to roll with it. Okay. This is working really well. It is getting these edges where I want them. And you just want to control your tool. Take your time to go on those edges. Because if you go too fast, you could accidentally go across your piece. Backside wouldn't be so detrimental as if you went through the across it on the back, or on the front side. So, and every so often I just feel to make sure that I'm actually getting it smooth and to the level it needs to be. I don't want to go necessarily below, dig too deep into it, but I do want that lip off of there. And yes, we're scuffing that resin edge up. I'm going to show you how we're going to cover that. So I'm not super worried. You could do a flood coat on it, where you do the back side as a gel if you want. Or I'm going to try to just edge it with a gold marker, paint pen. Not just a regular marker, but a paint pen that we're going to do our edges in. Plus it's the bottom. People shouldn't be really looking at it excessively. Oh, that's cool. I was able to hit the play button and stop it. Oh my goodness. That is so much smoother. So much better. And I think once I put that coat of the paint pen on it, it's going to be perfect. So, I will use some water here in a minute just to wipe this off with the towel. And truthfully, I just realized my drink is in this area. Luckily, it has a lid. But I'm going to move it behind me so that I'm not drinking dust here in a little bit. So this one, I kind of stopped our tool because we went so deep on it apparently. This one will need a coat of resin. That's just what it's going to have. Just to clean it up. There's no real good way to hide what we're doing right now than to pour some resin to fill in this little area. But we can for sure get these real sharp, rough edges down. Might go a little faster speed maybe. This resin is real thick in this area. And so it's being definitely more stubborn, is what I would say. Really thick, and so it's just, and then I think it's just getting so dusty in spots that it's just having this little peel up. This is where my Dremel would probably be a little bit better because it's probably more powerful. But when my Dremel stops, it stops and you have to like start over. Whereas this, I just pull it off and let it do its thing. So. It's very smooth though. I'm not going to put ourselves on it now. It's all, okay, we'll go. So definitely likes the thinner area. This one's going to be interesting. Do it. It's also about finding the pressure, because I think if I'm pressing too hard on it, it does like to jam itself up. But if I just go at a nice even touch, it's doing a lot better. So it could just been user error with those stopping times, but I just don't know this particular tool as well. We're almost there, but you see how long this takes to get to this point. Whew. I mean, so much time to get to there. I am going to grab my water spritzer, which is not where it's supposed to be. Guess that is part of the not putting things back where I had them, which is weird because that one has a very particular home. And I'm like, I haven't used my water spritzer for some time, so I'm not sure why. Do you ever put something somewhere and you can like visualize it? Like I can visualize this water spritzer, and it's not where it's supposed to be, and where I can visualize it being. Like I know that I've seen it in that spot. Oh no, here it is. I knew I'd seen it recently. Okay, I thought it wasn't in that spot. This where it's supposed to be. I was looking all over one day for this notebook. And I was like, my sewing thing. Oh my gosh. I think I sent this when I was looking for it, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Why can't I find it? But, you know. Alright, so you see how dusty this piece is. Like, whew, gross, right? So you can wipe it off with a paper towel. What I would suggest though, with a little spritz of water on said paper towel, and this is just plain water in a Dollar Tree Sprite bottle, so nothing fancy, just wiping it down. I'm not drenching it, don't need to. I would not use your rubbing alcohol, that's gonna cloudy up your resin. But that. Now, I wanted to show you guys a couple things because I saw when this happened when I was doing it, but it was going to be hard to see. There's a scuff here. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. I'm going to try to, there we go. Put my flash on. It's still having a hard time focusing. There it is. There's a scuff right there where the Dremel went. That's fine, because we're going to backfill this basically with some resin and dome up the bottom. There's also one here. Again, kind of hard to see, get the right angle. But yeah, we will get that when we fill the back of it. So next time I pour Counterculture DIY, that piece will be off to the side so that we can clean it up. Now, this piece is one of our coasters that we did. I just needed a break from dremeling. And I'm just taking that leftover paper towel, wiping it off, and voila. And it looks really good. You can see where the resin is scuffed here, where we ground that down. We're going to cover that imperfection up, and you're not even going to notice it when we get done. So, that's cool. Let's knock this one out. It's not terrible, but it does have a few spots that need some extra love that we couldn't get with the Dremel. Or not the Dremel, the deburring tool. With your Geode molds, the hardest part is these like curvatures and points. Just making sure that you follow that with your tool. And try not to take away the shape of it. So the deburring tool could not get in this little area because it's so pointy and glued in. So that was a little bit harder. There's a bubble imperfection right there. I'm going to just try to grind that down just a little bit more than the others. That'll make when we put our paint on just a little bit smoother. Nice thing is y'all will get to see these textures get finished, which is cool. And it's the part that I struggle completing, and where I don't record it, then a lot of times, like I've got a bin of stuff I gotta just sit down and start hacking away at it and finishing it. Okay. Lovely. The only thing I don't like about this is it's so easy to go forward, and then when you're trying to get it to turn off or go backwards, and you're like, okay, don't push too hard. You want to be right in the center. But overall, I felt like that tool was really good. And I won't have to constantly switch out, which I am so excited about. So I'm using the same paper towel again to wipe this one off. It has enough moisture that I can do that. And get it all cleaned up. Oh, so pretty. It's so shiny. Look how shiny it is. That's why it's almost hard to show y'all because of the shininess here. Okay. So this, I'm going to just pull this mat up and take it over to my trash can. And do a little dumper. And it sort of worked. But then I'm going to use the water that I have and really just try to wipe it off so that that is cleaned up for the next resin art that we're gonna do. That Dremel tool came with this cute little case with different pieces that, you know, you would use on nails. It came with some of the extra of the, I don't even know what those are called, those little sandpapery things. Oh, this was brilliant. I had my molds that we used over here. Should shake them out. So my counterculture mat has a lot of debris on it too, so I'm just going to spray it down with water. It honestly, that's the best when you're working with this dust. Or probably like a little vacuum having in your space would be wise, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm trying to be very good about putting things away diligently, put them where they go, so that we don't run into that incident of me running all over my space. Okay. I'm working on a standing desk, and I had it at the level that I could sit, but for this part I'm going to bring us up so that I can show you this portion. And I'll fix our zoom if I need to. Okay. I think we're good. So we are going to be using a painter pen. Let's use this one. This is a Uni Paint marker in gold. So you can see what it looks like. It sounds like it's got little balls in it. It's because it's like spray paint, and it's gonna be oil based. So basically once we put it on, it's gonna have a hard time coming off. First part is these lids are awful to get off. Anybody has a trick for those, please send it my way. I would love that. And then the next step, and this is something I have to just make sure that I'm being conscious of like going slow enough over this whole thing that I'm not going to slip and go on the front, basically. So, and I'm just going round and round. And this, you're gonna see like where there's like bubbles in the sides and so forth. You're not gonna get those cleared up. I mean, that just is what it is. Some bubbles on the sides that just never popped in the curing process. They got trapped. Well, I guess they technically popped. Never released in the curing process. And really, as long as you're going fluidly, you're not going to have any issues. If you go too quickly over a part that hasn't dried, you might end up with a spot where it tries to basically take the paint off of it. So you do want to make sure that you're not like going over areas you've already done that aren't drying yet. And it dries really quick. I mean, if we look at the beginning where I started, this is all pretty much dry all the way up until probably about right there. So it's not far that it's going back for sure. And sometimes with these little valleys in the resin here, it's easier to like go this way. You do have to be careful of those holes. Sometimes you can get your paint pen hung up on it. And again, it's just like anything with resin, you're gonna find your groove. This mold is awful thick too. That other one is a lot more like what I prefer. I just was not even thinking or paying attention to that. I just went across my mind that I had one that was so thick. I mean, it makes sense. I buy them from different spots and they come with a kit or something. Look at how that looks though when it gets done. So you can tell over here, this side we haven't painted, but this side we have. And just the completion that it actually finishes the top. It always amazes me how something on the side can help make it feel even finished on the top. It's weird. It's just the way it borders it. It's so cool. I love it. I wish I had, I should see if they have this paint pen in copper. That would have been really pretty. Gold's next best. I mean, looks so good. We still got a ways to go here though. Not a ton, but a ways. And if you're sensitive to spray paint, you will be sensitive to these pens, I would bet, because they smell like spray paint completely to me. So, again, do what you need to for your protective gear. Oh, that almost became detrimental. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting in to this valley. We don't quite fit with our pen. Okay, we're gonna have to get really creative. So me think for a second. I think I want to put it on with a little bit of a brush, but I'm trying to think what brush I should use. Yeah. I'm going to see if this works. This is just one of those makeup sponge brushes. I'm going to just try to transfer. Yeah, So normally you would press this to bring more of the ink down. So that's what I'm trying to do, is to bring the paint down onto this. This may or may not work. Well, what? There it is. Oh, it did. It got it. That was the first, y'all. There's a couple other little caves that crevices. So go ahead and touch them up while I have it. But that totally worked. Cool. Alright, for the back, I just want to go right around where I scuffed this up. So it's just about drawing a nice pretty, like, and see, then you're not even going to notice it. It's going to just kind of blend in with the back. But if you left it, you would be able to really see where we scuffed it. Whereas this, it's enough of a match of the color that we're not showing the difference, which is phenomenal. That is exactly what we want. So I'm just going round and round. Oh, I think I just painted my wrist because I was touching the other side. That hadn't had a chance to dry. Like, oopsie. Oopsie dipsy. Yep, I smeared it a smidge. Good thing is it didn't change anything with the back. Just smeared it. And again, I don't think somebody... That smear, I went back over it, so it's not noticeable now, but I really don't think anybody would have noticed. But since I knew it was there, you know, I need to fix it. Okay, beautiful. So we'll lay that upright. I laid it out of frame. Let that finish just fully drying. You could take your heat gun gently to it just to speed up the process, but we're in no rush, no hurry. Might as well move on to this one. So we'll start with our sides. This is where I can get a little bit crazy if I'm not careful and tell myself to slow down. When I get these elongated areas, I'm like, oh, let's just go crazy and paint. And then that's when I tend to accidentally push my paint pen into the front and do a nice line, and then I'm sitting there with trying to rub it off and get it off, and it's not the easiest. So I highly suggest just take your time. If you end up with a line where you don't want it, if you catch it immediately, sometimes you can just get it off with a little finger sweat. Not really sweat, but you know, little action with your hand to be able to quickly wipe it off. If that does not work, the next step is to pull out some of your rubbing alcohol, and on a little paper towel just try to get that little bit of an area, but be careful to not go too forceful and rough up your resin. That's kind of how I do it. I luckily haven't had one so bad that it was not recoverable on the piece. Worst case, you could sand it or Dremel it down a smidge, like to take that off, but then you would likely have to do a top coat to hide where you've scuffed up that space. So that's why I say you're better off saving yourself the heartache and spending a few extra moments taking your time than rushing and then having to spend the heartache and time cleaning up an oopsie situation. So keep going and going. It's looking good. Kind of got crazy, but it was on the back side and it didn't do enough that needs any adjustment. You can feel when it slips too. You'll be like, oh man, that totally just did what I didn't want it to do, and then you're like, oh crap. But that's why if you feel it slip, go ahead and check, because you can hopefully reverse it right then. This one is definitely shaped differently, but I like that it's thinner. And really, it didn't have much difference on the top or on the edges here from top to the bottom, because this one didn't get as much the mica powder. All that mica that we did have really pulled to the center, so we had mostly green on the edges, so it really just blended. But again, I think it gives such a finished look on the front side that it's important to do your edging on it. Plus then you hide this stuff. And I love a paint pen because I'm not very good with a paintbrush, but I have pretty good control with a pen or a marker. And so I can do this kind of stuff way better than I could with a paintbrush. And this kind of pen is perfect. It's not going to rub off. Once it's dry, it's pretty well there. Even when it's wet, you only got a short amount of time to be able to really try to get that off. So I like that ability. I'm going to try not to smear. Oh, looks so good. Looks really good. Oh, I'm just loving it. Love, loving it. Okay. Look at that. It's so pretty. I really love these coasters. I love the color combinations and how they've come out, which has made me super happy. I always make sure to get my lid back on really well, and it's not doing it. But we're gonna force it. That's probably why I can never get them off. Is that put them on really good? No. Oh, I just like unscrewed. Trying to put that on, I like unscrewed. I don't know. Oh yeah. I've like unscrewed that part. Crazy. Didn't even know that was possible. Oh, it goes the opposite way. Okay. That lid has to be on. I store my paint pens upside down, or like this, so that the paint's down here. It's just my preference. Alrighty. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa. I love the shimmer and the layers in this. That mica that has that mint shimmer is just stunning. And it really does create some beautiful, beautiful layers in there. So those are done. And this one, it's smooth. Like you could gift that probably, or maybe do a little bit of colorant on it. Like I said, you really can't tell those marks, but you could put a little bit of the, like the paint pen on there and then not do a resin fill. Let's try it. I'm like thinking about it going, you know what? I think we should try that. But I can't get my lid off. Part of it's, these lids are so, oh, I just pulled that part off again. Difficult because of these little things, they like hurt your hand. Oh my gracious. Hey, I swear I'm not this weak, but by golly, I'm feeling like I am. I'm afraid this is going to be more noticeable just because it's thicker of an area that we're painting. But let's, worst case is I cover it with some resin and nobody but us would be the wiser. It's kind of my thought. Why not experiment? I wish I had just a clear gel pen. I don't know if that's even possible or even a thing. What I might do, because I know that's noticeable, I'm going to kind of do one of these where I just then really rub it off. See how hard that is? Like, I can still see it. I'm gonna try something else. It's just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Yep, not taking that off. Well, the paint stayed in the crease, and I think, like, I notice it, but I don't think anybody else will notice it. I'll look when I bring this up close to y'all, and we'll see. We'll see. I'm undecided on this piece of if this is sufficient to finish it or not. So tell me in the comments what y'all think, because I'm not positive, but we'll see. Let's bring it up closer so y'all can see. So basically, we've done the edging. This is one of the spots that I had scuffed. And like, yeah, on camera y'all can't really, I don't like see it there. But you gotta be really close to see that, and it's not that big. Now, here's the one, that's the one I filled in. There's the one that I didn't fill in. So I think that look, and again, this is your bottom side. Somebody's not gonna be sitting here going like this. So I feel like that's pretty nice. And I'm pretty done. I kind of wonder if I should fill that. Like I said, I wish that I had a, like almost just a clear. I don't know if it's still a thing, but are there still, you know, those wood pins that, like, if you got a scuff on your furniture, that you could get a wood pin and kind of touch up the furniture in that color. That's what I feel like I need, except I don't want it necessarily in this color. I think if it was a clear pin that could fill in and make it clear, like resin would, it would hide that scuff, is my theory. Almost like filling it with oil that you wouldn't see it. I don't know. Might have made it more noticeable. Might have made it. again, it is the bottom. I'm not getting much off, but I got some off. I just wanted it to not be so white, for it to blend a little more, which I think it probably is enough. I'm just, oh, my own worst critic, right? But look at those. Aren't those so fun? I do love how this one has turned out. It's very stunning. Very stunning. So, hope y'all enjoyed this series. And, yeah, stick around. We're going to do some more fun things soon. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.